Well, another talking technical. Always nice to serve the technical analyst community. There's a lot of people that love charts, and really we're flooded with some new viewers that say, I'm busy teaching myself. I want to learn about this wonderful passion, and I maybe think about maybe do it a little bit on a full-time basis in the future. Well, the most important thing to keep in mind is it takes years. And I'm trading, and Christelle is trading for many years, and we're teaching a lot of traders. And I can tell you, it's not a thing that you teach yourself within a year. It sometimes takes 2 years to 5 years to master it. But when you've got it right, it's a wonderful hobby and even a passion. Well, let's have a look at some few shares. And the first one is Tesla. Now, Tumiso asked about Tesla. Now, Tesla is maybe one of those companies, it's one of those wonderful companies in the world that everybody loves, and we're proud about it because the guy that started, well, no, unfortunately, he didn't start the Tesla, Elon Musk. He took it over many years after it started, but he's now in charge there, and he does wonderfully well. So if we look at Tesla, momentum is clearly to the top side, and Tumisha wants to know, we want to look at the chart, and this is a weekly chart, and well, Tumisha, the important thing is I'm watching at this level. I'm looking at this. That's the important thing. This is a lamp pole formation, and I know that the price to earnings ratio of this share is well above 100. So the expectations of Mr. Musk is unbelievable. So if he just makes a small mistake, you can easily see the share coming back. But Micho, at the moment, the share looks okay. I will get worried when it breaks this 1413 level, because then you will see there's the rally, and it will come back to test the support line. If it doesn't take out this high there's the high. If it doesn't take out 1550, you must remember that this will be a bounce lower, and then a break. That will be a lower high. So below 1413, I'll get nervous, and only above 1550, I'll be positive. If you want to chase it, you can. I'm not a chaser. I'm not a momentum trader. But if you want to do that, you can. Above 1550, you can chase it. Stick to your stop loss of 1413. And remember, this stock had one massive rally. And I always use a simple method. If I look at this line is steeper than a 45 degree or a 30 degree. I love a 30 degree. A 30 degree gradient is always a nice one. It's like this. Look at that. That's a beautiful 30. The moment it goes that steep, then I usually worry about it because it can easily pull back. Let's have a look at gold. Jane asked about gold, and the moment in future, the moment I hear the word gold, I will remember Dr. Clive Roffey. For many years, he talked about gold. I can remember I showed this inverse head and shoulder many years ago. There you are. I just want to show it. And he exactly also showed it on his programs a couple of times. There was the left shoulder. There's the massive head. There's the right shoulder. And eventually when it broke, it rallied. And whoever thought that, because this initial target of this inverse head and shoulder many years ago was, can you believe it? It was 1627. Well, it flew past that, and it's touching around the 1950 level. It's easily maybe going to the level of 2000, and it just shows you that this share worked on, or the price, the commodity worked on a base for many years, and when it broke that base, it rallied. So Jane, if you want to buy it, I will say maybe it's just better to wait for a little bit of a pullback. Now, you will immediately say to me, Frans, but this commodity will never give us a pullback. Now, that is not true, because we've seen in the past, even if it runs up, it always comes back a little bit. If it runs up too high, it always gives you a little bit. Now, after this rally, since March, the gold price went from 1,500 to, let's call it 2,000. That is a 30% jump. That's a massive jump. Now, we know that it's driven by stimulus, and it's driven by inflation fears and all that, and that people are worried about fiat currencies. We know that. But I always say, when I see a lamp pole formation, it usually pull back. Even there on the early days, if you saw the steep rallies, it comes back. Look at it, steep rally, and it comes back. So, Jane, I don't want to say where it can go back to. I would like to see first a pullback before you get in. So watch the shows. Maybe if we get your request again in future shows, we will definitely look at gold again. Well, let's look at Imperial Holdings. And Levin asked about it. He says to me, he likes Imperial. Well, let's have a look at Imperial. I just want to get it. There you are. Imperial Logistics. And I think Levin is thinking about if the South African economy turns around, things can definitely pick up on the logistical side. Well, he's probably right. If I look at this chart, look at it all the way from there, it comes down. But remember now, motors came out of it here. But look at it, it's all lower highs. It's almost like the share is struggling to find its feet. So Levin, I will just say the following. I will use that line. I will draw it in there and I will say that is my resistance line. And it's sloping slowly but surely with this line lower and lower and lower. And I will just wait. I know you see maybe here a left shoulder, a tiny left shoulder. Let's just do it there. And you can see. Let's pull it out a little bit. There you are. There's a tiny left shoulder. There's the head. And we may be working on the right shoulder now. So what's the bottom line here, Levin? The bottom line is you must wait for it to break, and the neckline sits at 38.15, and only then you buy. And let's first see where's the low of this right shoulder, then we can decide where the stop loss is. But if it does break above that neckline, you've got a beautiful target to the top of about 69.30 and a tiny conservative target of, let's call it 45.20. So Levin, let's see, it can maybe surprise you, but I will wait for this resistance line to act before I think the chart can actually carry on. Well, let's have a look at Vukile. Let's have a look at Vukile. Vukile property. Now, Matthew asked about Vukile. Now, again, we know that the property shares in South Africa was hammered. In actual fact, it was murdered. I mean, can you believe it? Vukile was a share of 21 Rand not long ago in December now, and it's now trading at 7 Rand 17. Just have a look here. I mean, can you believe it? This is not a waterfall. This is just fall of a cliff, because it did not even give proper bounces. But it just shows you the negativity around these shares. Now, we know that all shares turns around if the cyclical aspect or the economical aspect turn around, like the gold shares. We waited many years for the gold shares and it turned around. Well, the same with the residential shares. It will do exactly the same, property shares. Now, I will say here, let's have a look at this. Here you are. I will use this line before I make a decision. That's 884. The reason being, we had the low at around 495. It went up. It came back, it went up, and now suddenly it took out the low of this. Let's just show you. That makes me a little bit nervous. If it's held its own above this level, I was quite happy to say we can maybe look at it, but it broke below this low now because this is now a resistance line. And that level is 738. So Matthew, I will wait. I will not even buy it if it goes above 738. I will wait for it to show me what it wants to do here. And only above this level of 880, I will be positive to say, yes, we can maybe look at the stock. Because at the moment, the stock just tells you that it's struggling to find its feet. So don't be over anxious. And if you buy it above 880, use this level of 744 as your stop loss. And then you know you're right if it starts to go up. And let's hope that when it turns around, it gives us some beautiful higher lows, because then we know we're in the right direction. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Brian asked me about Bitcoin, and he's probably a Bitcoin trader. And I just want to see here, Bitcoin, there you are. I just want to get the right one because there's so many of them. BTC. There you are. All right. Well, if you look at this stock here, Brian, I looked at it. There was an inverse head and shoulder. It starts to move above it. And I maybe just want to show. There you are. There you are. And you will ask me now, where did this line comes from? If you can remember correctly, I showed it a few weeks ago. And we talked about this little left shoulder, tiny left shoulder here, the head here, the right shoulder. Now what happened? Look what it did. It went above the neckline, it came back, and now it's above the neckline again. So that is positive. So if you want to be a little bit creative, you can do the following. Fine, I see something interesting here. There you are. I'm seeing also again a tiny left shoulder. And I'm seeing a head. You can almost say a big head. Or even you can say this is a head. And there's the right shoulder. The most important thing here is not the inverse head and shoulder here. The important thing is it broke above this resistance line and it turned it into a support. Sometimes, and even if you look at that gold chart of what I showed you a little bit earlier on, you will see numerous right shoulders, but the big thing there was the strong resistance that gold had to overcome to give us a push to the upside. This is the same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin had to break above this line. Now it is above this line, and it can now maybe go higher. And the levels to the top will be 10,417 and above 11,548. You can really see that Bitcoin attracts some new buyers again. And there you are, above that 11,500, you can go to that previous resistance. Whoa, can you believe it? 14,600. So guys, but remember, this is volatile deluxe. So if you do trade Bitcoin, the only thing that I hear from the guys, they say you need to stick to your stop loss, otherwise you burn your fingers. Well, visit our website, www.fransdeclercq.com for more charts, and thank you for watching the show. All the best.